Russell and Mark Mead. They were worried about the water that the other boats stirred up, and what they just did is, it's got to be the worst I've seen today. Insane. They were worried about running after the E350s earlier. Well, the 350s didn't leave anything like that. That's where you got to be careful when you run into those rollers. Good way to send it to the moon, just launch you. Mark Curtis. Mark Curtis out of Tacoma, Washington. Russell and Mark Mead out of Astoria, Warrenton, Oregon. Todd Cragen out of Kirkland. All right, we're coming up on 1 minute. We are at 1 minute. All right, Russell's early. Everybody else is about where they want to be. Well, Mark Curtis will come scooting up through there. Definitely has the fastest of the boats right now. You can see Russell going way up wide. He's out against the outside marker buoys, or close to it up there. I think he's got some learning to do as far as getting his timing on this. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You saw Mark Curtis go down through the middle there, basically split him. Russell got a little bit wider than he wanted to there. He had to roll it up so he could stay inside that outside course marker. Mark just took off and then let Todd catch up. Now we're going to have a race down the back chute. Looks like all right. Todd Cragen coming back off the course. Obviously got a problem. He slowed it up going into the turn there. I wondered what was going on, and then he started to pull outside once everybody got by. And Curtis and Russell out there having fun. And what they're basically doing is what you see Vintage do, and that's more of an exhibition than anything else. See Russell Mead come down and hop pretty good going in the turn here. That's the rollers that are inherent in the water. Just kind of bounces through, and then Mark just squirts on by him, and now they're going to do the same up the back chute. He can hear him coming. All right, start of fourth lap coming up. Mark Curtis, Russell Mead. All right, Mark Curtis out front. Coming down for his checkered flag. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude today's action on the water. We have 2 heats to finish tomorrow. That is the vintage. But I know the discussion transpired down there. We need to get the competition side done. We had divisionals to try and do our best to finish today. We had a time limit of 5 o'clock because of the ambulance situation. Not that it's a bad thing, but they can only be here until 5. And it's right at 5 now. I want to remind you, there is a fire department fundraiser over at the gazebo just on the other side of the inboard pits, the crane pits. $15. They're doing sloppy joes. I think there were hot dogs available as well. If you can't participate in at least having a meal, give them a donation. The fire department can use it so they can do their job here for the community. This isn't a big high-dollar community. This is a small community. They need every dollar they can get. We thank them for being here,